Hi guys, my name is Noble Kumano. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. So, it's the new year. It's the time when we're not making New Year's resolutions. The time when we're setting the goals that we want to set for the year. It's the time when we're strategizing, we're planning, and trying to see how we can do better and be better and grow better in the year 2023. So I figured this is the perfect time to drop this video that I'm dropping now. So last year, like most of us, I had plans, I had goals, I had things I wanted to achieve, but like life happens, right? And some of the goals I didn't achieve, right? One of the goals actually that I had last year was to read quite a few books. I didn't read as many books as I wanted to read, but I managed to read a few. And from the few that I read, there's a book called Atomic Habits, right? Which is a book that I completely loved. So Atomic Habits is a book about how small little changes over time can make a very big impact in how far you go in the goals that you've set for yourself. And I was just thinking about how each year in, year out, we all have goals, right? I want to lose weight. I want to run so many kilometers per day or per week, or I want to lift so many kilometers. I want to get that promotion. I want to save so much. I want to, start a business, etc., right? We all have goals. But then for some reason, we succeed in some and we fail in others. And year in, year out, there's some of those goals that we constantly have to put on our resolution because we failed to meet them last year. So when I was reading the book Atomic Habits, there's a chapter that it must be at the start of the book that really gave me that aha moment that made me realize where I was going wrong, why I was setting goals that I cannot, achieve. And this chapter, it talks about how we must forget our goals but focus on systems. And a particular quote that stuck for me in that chapter, the book is by James Clear, by the way, is the quote that says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." So what does this quote mean? Basically, this quote is saying you can set goals, right? These are the things that we want to achieve. But if you don't have the correct structures, if you don't have the correct systems in place to help you meet those goals, you are never going to meet them. So how does that look like practically, right? So if you're a coach, your goal might be for your team to win the championship. Your systems are how you recruit your players, how you manage, your assistant coaches, and how you manage their training. So the systems are the things that help drive the vision. The systems are the things that help set up the goal so that the goal succeeds. So, and if you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be that, you want to build $1 million business, right? And your system is how you test your product. Your system is how you hire your employees. Your system is how you're doing your marketing, because those are the building blocks that will help and make sure that you become a millionaire, to make sure that your business scales to a level where it's $1 million business. And so the question comes, what if you stopped worrying about, your goals and you focused on your systems? Would you still achieve your goals? And the answer, I think the answer is yes. For example, let's say sport, right? The goal in any sport is to have the best score. But it wouldn't make any sense to focus on the scoreboard, right? To keep watching if it's now 2-0. When the things that you're doing on the ground, where you're playing, when you're training, when you're health, what you're eating is not working for you, right? So the goal, yes, might be to have that scoreboard that has you on top, but you can't focus on the scoreboard. You have to focus on what you're doing to lay the foundation for what you want to do. So goals are good for setting the direction, right? Setting a vision for what we want to achieve, but systems are the best for making progress. And why shouldn't we focus on goals? Why shouldn't we just list our goals and work towards them? There's nothing wrong with goals, but like I said, goals set the vision, but then systems drive that vision and make it best for progress. And there are problems that arise when you focus on the goals. So number one, winners and losers usually all have the same goals, right? In any game, in any race, in anything, the two people, either the one who wins and the other who loses, all had the same goals. So this tells you that there's the goal can't be the defining or distinguishing factor, because it was all about goals, then everyone should be winners. But the thing is, what sets apart the winners up and the losers are the systems that the two set up for themselves to make sure that they achieve that goal. The second problem with focusing on goals instead of system is that achieving a goal is only a momentary change, right? So it's one of those where you're like, okay, today I want to wake up and clean my room, for example. So you gather the strength and clean your room. So you've achieved that goal of cleaning your room for that day. But then if you don't implement systems that will make sure that you don't end up with the same problem again, your owner is going to have to be mastering the energy to clean your room week in, week out. But if you focus on systems, then you design, a program, you design and you set up your life in such a way that your room never gets to a point where you need to summon all of the energy that you can in the world to clean up, because maybe you've decided that whenever I remove clothes, I'm going to hang them, I'm going to put them in the washing basket. Whenever I get out of my bed, I'm going to make sure that I make my bed there. So these are systems that make sure that you do not end up in the same place you started it. So in order to improve for good, you need to solve the problems at the systems level. So you need to fix the inputs, and the outputs will fix themselves. The third problem is that goals restrict your happiness. So with goals, we usually tie our happiness to a future event. And I've seen a lot of this with weight, right? We're unhappy about how we feel, we're unhappy about how we look, and we tie ourselves to that goal that when I have that six-pack, when I have that slim waist, when I've dropped 10 Ks, then I'll be at my best self. But then the problem is that you're continuously depriving yourself and putting yourself in a space where you're not happy, in the hope and only looking forward to achieving the goal. And goals also create this either or type of a conflict, right? So it's either I've dropped the 10 kgs or I'm not happy. There's no in between, because the mark has been set. It's 10 kgs or nothing. And because of that, it's like it's either I do this or I don't. And if I don't do it, then I'm a disappointment. Then I've failed. But a systems, process makes sure that it fixes your mentality and provides the antidote. So when you fall in love with the process rather than the end result, then you don't have to wait to give yourself that happiness. You don't have to wait to get that gratification. If you're trying to lose weight and you're falling in love with the process of eating better, sleeping earlier, working out more, then it means each and every day you eat better, each and every day you exercise, you are happy because you are enjoying the process. And then the end result, the goal of dropping the 10 kgs at the end of the day, sort of becomes like the crown on top of all your systems, on top of all the strides that you've been making to make sure you get that far. And then the fourth problem with goals is that goals are at odds with long-term progress. Yeah, I'm going to keep using the weights example because I've been there. So one of my videos, my second video, I think, was how I lost 10 kgs, right? So I've been there. I've been at a space where it's all about weight. But I think it's a perfect example. Because I've seen this a lot with people who've gone on keto, on banting, or some of those restrictive types of diets, who put in their all, push this thing, restrict themselves, but they're focusing on finally reaching that goal. And then when they finally reach those 10 kgs, they relax. They've met the goal. They relax, and because of that, they relapse. And sometimes, or more often than not, they end up gaining way more weight than they've actually lost. And the thing with focusing on goals is that when you put yourself and all your hard work and you focus on that goal, once you achieve it, what's there to push you forward, right? I wanted to lose 10 kgs. I've lost 10 kgs. I was going to the gym. I was doing ABC because I wanted to lose 10 kgs. Now that I've lost 10 kgs, what is the motivation for me to keep running? It lacks that continuity. It lacks that longevity, because there's nothing to drive the future. There's nothing to keep you engaged in the process. And I'm going to read this quote directly from the book. It says, "The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. True long-term thinking is goalless thinking. It's not about any single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress." The goal is not to win the game, but it's to continue playing the game. And that is how systems come into play. So in conclusion, yes, we're going to be setting goals. Yes, we have resolutions. Yes, we have bullet points of things that we want to meet. But let's forget the goals and focus on the systems and fall in love with the system. Let's fall in love with becoming. Fall in love with the process. Goals are good for planning your progress, but systems are actually good for making sure that you actually make progress. And to close off, I'm going to end with a quote from F.M. Alexander, who says, "People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." You don't decide where you're going to end up. You decide what you do each and every day. And those small little decisions are what, will decide the the trajectory that your life is going to take and ultimately decides your future. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video impactful. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please make sure you click the like button at the bottom and please share with your friends and everyone you know. It's completely free and it helps my channel grow. And if you're still not subscribed at the end of this video, please kindly subscribe. Again, it's completely free. I hope you come back next time. I hope you find value in these videos. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.